All right, let me do a little quick story time real quick. So we're gonna talk about my experience with Pitocin. Now, if you don't know what Pitocin is, it's a synthetic hormone that creates false contractions. They are artificial contractions, man-made contractions to help to send a woman into labor, right? Bam. I received Pitocin with no prior knowledge, experience. I'm just thinking, okay, the doctors say that this is going to help to progress labor because I'm taking too long. And they didn't want to, they didn't want infection to set in after my water had broke without having contractions, which now I know that I don't think that's even a top concern when you go about it in a certain way. But let's get back to the Pitocin. So they hooked me up, they put me on this Pitocin, and they was like, okay, so every 30 minutes they'll come in and then they'll turn up the like pressure or the force of the artificial contraction to like keep things moving along. Now at that time I'm like, okay, this is gonna be cool, whatever they say, let it may. Like, I'm just cool with. I'm new to this, I don't know. And then I'm putting all of my trust into the doctors, into the system, into the hospital, because I'm like, well, they should know more than me. So all right, I'm up for it. If this is gonna help me to meet my baby girl and to keep me safe, then sign me up. So I got the Pitocin, and I want to say that it was after the Pitocin that I then begin to feel like anxious, or like I just begin to feel uneasy. So then they offered me this other drug. I forgot the name, y'all. But after I got this drug and after this whole experience, I said, whatever that was, I'm never getting it again. If you have any idea on what this could be, let me know. But they said that this would help to calm me down. So they gave me that drug. And I feel like it calmed me down on the outside, but on the inside, I still felt uneasy. I still felt uncomfortable. I didn't feel peaceful at all. For one, I was a teenager. I was 16 and I didn't do drugs. So I didn't know what it felt like to feel high or to feel drunk. And if I had to guess, then I would say that that is what was happening. I was feeling drunk or high, or I was feeling drunk, like everything was just going slow, and I just was like, oh heck no, whatever they just put in this IV, can they take it out, because I don't like it. I just felt like everything was going slow. I felt like I was talking slow, I was just going slow, and I didn't like it. I felt like I had no control over how I felt. And I was like, just I remember this, y'all, like this was yesterday. Mind you, this was 14 years ago. I remember talking to the nurse like, when is this going to wear off, because I don't like this. I don't like this. And she was like, in like an hour or two. And I said, in an hour or two? Like, I gotta go through this and I have to feel this for an hour? I'm not sure if I cried, but that would be the perfect time to cry, because then at that point it's like, well, I'm just locked into whatever this feeling is, and then I can't come out of it until it comes out of my system. So I was just sitting there like, oh my God. So I just did my best to sleep so that time could just go by. And I want to say throughout that time too, they kept on turning up the Pitocin. I'm not sure how long they had me on it, but I do know that at some point I think they took me off of it. As far as my experience with the Pitocin and the pain or the contractions, I don't remember it being like excruciating or something that I couldn't like take. It was just uncomfortable. It was just something that someone else had power to control, and it's not coming from my natural excuse me, and it's not coming from my natural body. Excuse me, y'all. So after that whole Pitocin and that drug experience, and after having had 2 children after that one, I was like, Pitocin, no more. At that time, if I get pregnant again, I know to not get on that Pitocin. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they do. Don't put me on that Pitocin. I want to have more control. Well, not control, but I just want to allow things to just be as they're supposed to be. I didn't want as much interventions, as much this and that put into my natural process. Now, I did not know all that I know now when I was 16, but I knew that if I had another child, Pitocin will be out of the plan. So to all of my moms out there who may be first-time moms or first-time moms that are being like offered possible Pitocin at birth, or just period, if you want to learn more about what Pitocin is, I would encourage you to learn it beforehand and not after the fact, because at the end of the day, it is your birth and you need to know what all is going on. You need to know what these things are that they plug you up on, that they put in you, that they intervene in throughout this sacred process of labor and delivery. So Pitocin won't ever get into my body again. Let nature just do its course. I'm letting nature do its course, because why would you want to, why hook me up on Pitocin just because my water broke early and there was no signs of infection? Things were closed off. I didn't feel sick. I didn't even, I felt perfectly fine. I felt perfectly fine. There was no need at all.